into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is a Wednesday morning. In fact, the 9th of the 9th, 2020. Put that in your calendar somewhere if you want to be superstitious about it. But it's midweek and we're bringing you some wisdom on this Wednesday. And this one is for all the parents out there. We're focusing on the power of quiet time with registered counsellor Shimza. And of course, then Ryle is going to bring us a stress relief workout for the little ones out there, for all the kids. So if you're dealing with a chaotic household, this one is especially for you. And also don't forget that we continue with the Feel Good content from 8:10 until 8:30. And this, of course, live on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. So even though we won't be live on air, we do make sure that we keep it flowing, keep going. And of course, please do engage with us throughout. We are on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, hashtag Expresso Show all the way through. Well, for the next 2 hours, we are keeping you company. Let's say hello right now to the rest of the team. Morning, guys.
Morning, you beauties. But keep it calm. Keep it calm and relaxed. If you can get your 3-year-old to calm down and relax, please tell me how. No, we're starting to figure it out. Good morning from my side. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Raul. Good morning, and thank you once again for joining us. It's the middle of the week, but don't fret. We've got the magic lined up for you, don't we, G? But we're asking you some interesting questions this morning, G. And I want to ask you as well, man. I know you've got some kids. How do you even deal with quiet time?
Is it possible? No, the funny thing is, so the only time I ever find Jack is completely still is when we're outdoors. So like if I can get him out into like a Newlands forest or something like that, then we can get to that calm place. But we read every night, and that's kind of his chill out zone. That's where we kind of, and it's awesome. It's also a wonderful bonding experience. Yeah. We want to know from you guys, how do you do it? How do you achieve that quiet time with your children? Maybe it's a little bit of meditation, whatever you do with your kids. We'd love to be inspired this morning. That's feeding out of our chat, our parenting talk today with Shimza. We're going to be talking about quiet time with the kids. So we'd love for you to engage with us in that conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And of course, obviously, later in the show, I'm going to be extending on our trending theme this morning and allowing the kids an opportunity to also just wind down, get more aware, more conscious, and of course everybody at home can join in on this, and I know you're going to benefit from all the serotonin and the dopamine that gets released. So before we get into the magic, G, let's find out what's happening in the news.
Thanks, guys. Just gone 2 minutes past 6 o'clock. Here's a first look at the news headlines on this Wednesday morning. On the national news front, Statistics South Africa yesterday said that the fear of contracting the coronavirus, a decrease in income and fear of arrest, saw a vast decrease in household consumption in the second quarter of the year. The agency said that the second quarter figures show that the economy shrunk 51% quarter on quarter. At a household level, transport dropped by 71.4%, and with no entertainment centres, households spent 86% less on recreation and culture. The ban on the sale of alcohol resulted in a 92.4% drop in household consumption of alcoholic beverages. Now, Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo says that the major cause for municipalities' financial problems is budgets that are not credible. He says the time has come for the management of municipalities to be held accountable for poor financial management. Masondo briefed the National Council of Provinces on government interventions to bring municipalities back on track. He says large portions of the budgets for the infrastructure are not spent because municipalities do not do planning. He says in addition to accountability for poor financial management, officials with correct skills need to be appointed so that the service delivery can improve. On the international news front, authorities in Sudan are trying to protect the country's ancient pyramids from flooding, as continued heavy rains have caused the nearby River Nile to reach record-breaking levels. Now, they have built sandbag walls and are pumping out water to protect the site, which is home to a host of ruins more than 2,300 years old. The UN-designated World Heritage Site at Al-Bajrawiya, which was the heartland of the ancient kingdom of the Kush, is home to hundreds of archaeological relics and is normally 500 meters from the Nile. The floods have never affected the site before. Now, Japan's Minister Seiko Hashimoto yesterday said that the Tokyo Olympics should at any cost go forward in 2021, regardless of the state of the global pandemic. The Tokyo Summer Olympics had originally been scheduled to start in July, but were pushed back a year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The IOC Executive Board is scheduled to meet virtually today, and the Japanese public is reportedly uneasy about holding the Games amid uncertainty about what the state of the pandemic will be more than 10 months from now. And now a story of a very special mom and her very special baby. Earlier this year, a stressed female Temminck pangolin was retrieved from illegal trade from the SA Police Endangered Species Unit. Dr. Karen Lawrence of the Johannesburg Wildlife Vet Hospital stabilized the pangolin, and it was established that she was pregnant. Now the team wanted to set the pangolin free, which they named Ali, as soon as she was well enough, because they did not wish her to give birth during care, so as to eliminate additional stress on her and her unborn pup. Now, the African Pangolin Working Group transferred Ali with extremely high frequency and satellite telemetry attached to her to enable the post-release monitoring to a careful selected site in the Limpopo Valley, where there were diverse ant species and good burrows. Now, camera traps were also positioned to continue monitoring her. And this brought the most amazing footage this week. Ali had given birth and was caring for her pup in the burrow. Now, this was the first ever record of an African pangolin successfully giving birth after being retrieved from illegal wildlife trade and released back into the wild. A very, very good news to end off this news bulletin. And we'll have another report for you at 7 o'clock. Right now, here's a first look at the sporting world.
Thanks so much, Kat. Well, sorry to bring a downer after that wonderful story, but we start with athletics, and not the best news for double Olympic champion Caster Semenya, who has lost her appeal to Switzerland's Federal Supreme Court against the restriction of testosterone levels in female athletes. This means that the 29-year-old will not be able to compete in events without taking testosterone-reducing medication. Semenya is a hyperandrogenic athlete and has repeatedly stated she will not take any drugs to comply with the regulations. She has said she is very disappointed with the Swiss court's decision. On to cricket. Former Free State and VKB Knights all-rounder Dylan du Preez has been appointed as the assistant coach of the national women's cricket team. The 38-year-old retired from playing cricket back in 2017 and has taken up coaching since then. Du Preez signed a 3-year contract with Cricket South Africa and will now work under head coach Hilton Moreeng. Staying with cricket news, but a little further afield, Australia claimed a consolation victory in the final T20 international match against England at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton last night. The hosts won the 3-match series after winning the first 2 matches. So Australia were chasing 146 runs, reaching their target with just 3 balls to spare to beat England by 5 wickets. The sides now turn their attentions to the one-day format, the Emirates Old Trafford, for 3 one-day internationals starting on Friday. We'll touch on those stories again as we progress this morning. Right now, let's bring you the latest on the weather front.
Thank you very much, Jima. Let's take a first look at your weather, but we start off the morning with Angel Ledwaba's sunrise picture out in Tembisa, out in Johannesburg. 11 degrees starts off your morning with an afternoon temperature of 27 degrees. And then moving over to Beaufort West with Samuel B. Jacobs, the second. How stunning is this golden sunrise, making way for a brand new day. Now, you are a part of course, the country that's going to be experiencing a very warm day with a maximum temperature of 33 degrees. Thank you very much for those sunrise pictures. Continue to share them on our social media pages, Facebook as well as Twitter, and we'll share them live on the show. Now, Cape Town very nearly ran out of water in 2018. At the height of the crisis, the city restricted residents to 50 litres each a day to cover drinking, cooking, washing and bathing. Remember that time? What a dark time. Cape Townians became accustomed, obviously, to capturing their bath water to flush toilets and to harvesting rain. Now, hotels removed stoppers from bathtubs to curb usage by tourists. And the near disaster even prompted suggestions of towing icebergs in from Antarctic to the Cape Coast to bolster freshwater supplies. And now in 2020, thanks to the best winter rains for several years, its reservoirs are almost full and dam levels are closing in on the 100% mark. How's that? Well, let's take a look at the weather across the country. We'll start off with Polokwane, a low of 9 today, reaching a maximum of 25. It's a sunny day out there with sun and clouds out in Mbombela. 12, your low, reaching a high of 24. If you're out in the capital city, Pretoria, 9, that's your low, peaking at 27 degrees, with Johannesburg coming in at a low of 8, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. Mahikeng, sunny times today, 11, reaching a high of 29, with a start of 9, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees for Klerksdorp. Kimberley starts off at 13 and peaks at a warm 31. Bloemfontein, sunny times, 5 and 28, with Richards Bay at 16, reaching a high of 28. Your low out in Pietermaritzburg today is 13, reaching highs of 30, with South Africa's playground Durban sunny today, 15 and a warm 25. Mthatha 8 and 34, with East London coming in at 13 and 25. Craddock 7 and 34, your high. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 13 and 24. George, you start off at 13, reaching a high of 19. Cape Town, the mother city, 13, reaching a high of 26. With Worcester at 12, reaching a maximum of 27. Sutherland, 2 and 27. Lastly, Uppington, your low today is 13, and you will peak at a high of 33 degrees. That's where we leave it for now. The next update in just over an hour. Remember to share your sunrise pictures with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, as well as our Twitter page at Expresso Show. Good morning.
A very good morning to you, Uncle Tabsy. Well, spring is here, the sky is blue, and birds are singing as if they knew. Listen, I'm very, very excited to be hanging out with our Expresso beauty and fashion editor, Nox Mafu, and I was quite delighted to find out that I'm your muse in some way today. Very, very honored for that, because we were exploring a whole new kind of wardrobe change that you could bring into your life right now, because we've got some warmer temperatures all around the country. Yesterday in Cape Town was a beautiful day, so how about sprucing up your wardrobe a little bit and giving it something of a fresher look to match the fresh seasons and all the beautiful blooms out there? Do you get inspired by the seasons as well as they change that you get into?
Absolutely, Kat. It literally reflects in my wardrobe and my choices. Things are bolder, they're brighter. It's just like you can't help but be affected. And I think our fashion choices are always influenced by what's happening outside. So it's lovely to just see the change in step and tempo in our clothes.
Absolutely, especially for those in Johannesburg and Pretoria now, where the jacarandas are starting to blossom.
There's nothing like a Johannesburg morning, hey? Like, I sometimes miss living there because just the quiet, and then you just hear the birds chirping, and there's just jacarandas everywhere. It's stunning.
Lovely stuff. So what do you have for me today?
Okay, so today I'm gonna go over here a little bit. I'm playing between two things here.
Okay.
So what we're seeing a lot of trends actually in men's fashion is the tropics. So we're moving a little bit to the tropics.
Okay,
and then I've taken it back to the quintessential kind of simple minimalist look. So really we've got two options here. What I love about this shirt is really just like the playfulness of it. I said a few weeks ago that actually we're going to see the kind of bowler shirt coming in, and right on time, Woolworths has heard the brief. And then of course the classic golfer, which is always just a great way. So we're going to have to, and the material's amazing.
Great feel in both of them. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So always like really great to work in, really like lovely stuff that you can even like accessorize with like a leather jacket, anything. So really great staples to have.
Well, like I've got one part of the wardrobe sorted out.
Exactly. So all we need to do is kind of figure out what it is that you're going to choose.
Okay, so we're going to put it all in your hands at home. So head on over to our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page and let us know which one would it be for me today. Is it going to be, should we call it the tropics?
The tropics.
I
think
tropics.
The tropics is fun.
And the quintessential.
The quintessential man.
Ooh,
so
I like
many
that.
options.
It's so fancy. So, are we going to go with the tropics or the quintessential wardrobe piece today? So let us know, and whatever it is that you decide on by voting on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, that's what I'll go with today. Do you have a preference, if I may ask?
You know what? Looking at your outfit, I actually prefer this, but something tells me this guy over here is going to be a little bit of a winner. But let's see. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So let's make a
All right. I'm your mannequin today, guys. Dress
the muse.
me. I'm your muse for the day. All right, go ahead and vote on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. And we're going to take a short break and we'll see what you've decided thereafter.
Have your story of hope published by Cadbury Dairy Milk. Now, there's a story in everyone, so whether real or imagined, share yours and it could be amongst the 20 most inspiring stories compiled into an ebook that brings hope, light and wonder to orphaned and vulnerable children across the land. Add 087-240-6488 to your WhatsApp contacts, follow the prompts and share your story as a Word document, a PDF or a video recording. Standard data rates apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome back. You know what time it is. It's time to celebrate. And we're wishing you, our beautiful, happy, loyal, incredible viewers, happy birthday. And if it's your birthday today, you're sharing it with the Canadian Grammy Award singer, Michael Bublé. And he turns 46 years old today.
Well, here
It's
Cat
me
celebrating and ululating in the background there. Yeah, that's it.
Mrs. Jones.
Oh,
I love that, man. We got a thing going on. That's my man, Tom's just my man. Now listen, of course, the classic jazz singer, the soul singer, and his music is loved by all, young and old. And Bublé has sold over 40 million records worldwide, and he's won numerous awards while doing so as well. So we cannot wait for him to release some brand new music and keep us happy and smiling, of course, Tom. So to the man himself, happy birthday!
46th birthday. And then it's Vuyiseka's birthday today. Today is the birthday of the person who is spreading joy and positivity all around. Vuyiseka, may your birthday and your life be as wonderful as you are. Love from Ekris Honey Square. They all love you. They wish you well. And then we got someone special also celebrating their birthday this morning, and it's Ingrid who's on the line. Ingrid, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, my dear friend Hazel.
Happy birthday, Ingrid. What are you doing this morning? Thank you firstly for waking up and joining us to start off the morning already. But what are the plans for the rest of the day?
Well, I just had breakfast in bed.
Lekker.
And my family's taking me out for lunch on a farm stall somewhere. I'm not sure where. They just said I must be ready. So, yes, I'm looking forward to the day.
Well, you know that you're off to a good start if you're already having your breakfast in bed at this time. It's not even 6:30 yet. Happy birthday, Ingrid. But we're going to read you this really special message that came through. It says, happy birthday to Ingrid Wells. May God bless you to see many more from your friend Hazel Mentor.
Thank you so much.
This is beautiful. So enjoy your day and we wish you all of the best, all of the love and joy as you enter a brand new year in your life, all right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Ingrid! I love doing this, man. Putting a smile on someone's dial so early in the morning. Is that not just the way to start the day? Now we're moving over to the rest of you beautiful souls. We're starting off with Gladys. It's the 70th birthday to Gladys Peterson. Have a great day from your sister Yasmin, Arnold, and the rest of the family. We love you. And then Adrian is up next. A very happy 18th birthday. Oh, we are finally transgressing over to the world of being a man. May you have a great day and may your future be prosperous. We love you from all of your parents and your siblings. Have an incredible day, Adrian.
What a transgression. Happy birthday to my precious granddaughter, Kayla, who turns 11 years old today. May the Lord continue to bless you with love, with joy, peace, and good health. Enjoy your special day, my angel. We love you so much. Granny Eureka, Ma Sarah, Keisha, Session, and Zara. And then we got one for Margaret, who turns a big 62. Happy birthday, Margaret. It says, happy birthday to my mommy, Margaret Sheldon. We thank God for sparing my mom. We really are blessed to have you in our lives. And thank you for being the greatest granny to Aurora and Skylar. We love you lots from Simeon, Savonia, Aurora, and Skylar.
Margaret, maybe if you can share your beauty tips because you are looking not a day over 21. Now, Mikhail's had a birthday. Happy birthday, Mikhail. May Jesus bless you with joy, peace, and love from your mom, Evina, dad, and Mishash, Grand Molly, and of course the rest of the family. We just love you. And now, obviously, everybody else, if you'd love to send your birthdays through to us so that we can celebrate it, of course, head over to our number, which is 071-640-6551 to send a WhatsApp or a video, and we'll be celebrating with you in the studio. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, everyone.
Yeah, happy birthday to you indeed. And happy birthday, Michael Bublé, one of my inspirations.
Spirit
in
animals.
music.
I think he's like your spirit animal.
Yeah, absolutely,
Good guy.
absolutely. But of course, business is the order of the day for most of us out there, especially if you are a parent, which leaves very little time for external or even internal quiet and stillness. And so this morning, registered counsellor Shanaz Moos joins us to talk about the importance of incorporating regular quiet time into our lives. And finally, great to have you back in studio as well.
In the flesh.
Yes.
Yay.
The fabulous flesh.
And looking absolutely fabulous.
Oh, Shanaz, it really is so good to see you. I know you've had ample time with your own kids. I think we've all had probably a bit of an uphill struggle finding that quiet time. All things considered, slightly different reality we're dealing with now. We know that, for all of us, quiet time is hugely beneficial, but it can be quite a challenge with kids. But let's first describe it. Can you explain to us what you would consider quiet time to be?
We have so much stimulation. Everything around us, the screens, everything that we have is go, go, go. And quiet time is that it can be many things, but it depends what you see as quiet time. So it's like moving away from the technology, like downtime in a way, giving your brain some rest. So whether you choose to read, whether you choose to just play quietly for kids. So it's more like unstructured time. Do you guys even have any of that in your lives? Unstructured time?
Unstructured in some way.
Because what happens is work structures part of your day and then family structures the other part. So, and in there we feel we have to go into these blocks and complete said tasks in said ways, and then we tick the boxes and there we go. So that quietness, and quietness is about centering yourself. So if you don't actually do that, you can't,
Function properly anywhere else. So what actually can be gained, other than, let's say if you're a book reader, the joy of reading a book, you love listening to music, the fun of listening to music, maybe dancing to your favorite song during your quiet time. What's the deeper gain that you get from that quiet?
I initially started researching it for kids, but then most of the articles were written by moms, and they were talking about what they gain, that when kids transition from that baby nap time to toddler to no more naps, you lose your time as well. So you want that, and it makes kids grumpy. So what it does is that anything that you are feeling, regenerated by, this is what the quiet time does. So it doesn't look the same in people's houses or for different individuals or children. It's unique to that, because we like to put blanket things on everything that makes sense for us. So we want our kids to have the same quiet time in the same way, but that won't work for them. Do you understand? So,
different devices have different charging points and different adapters.
So you actually need to figure out what do you need as a family. And for some people, exercise is their quiet time. A walk, a run. It doesn't mean like sitting still in a way. It's not necessarily that.
For a young mind, and I speak from my own experience looking at a toddler who's now moving through the threes, and for me, I can only find that true kind of stillness in nature if we're out, where that's the only time I can see Jack becoming completely calm, and we'll read and we'll do those things to quiet down at the end of the evening. But I can see after he's had that unstructured quiet time, he's in a better mood. Literally, you can see that he's feeling better about life and far less stimulated. What are the gains for a child, for that young growing mind, to have that stillness?
You know what? I think they're finding in the corporate world, kids, adults, but when the kids now, we don't give them enough free play and time to become creative. So we're losing creativity, and no one's thinking, not even outside the box, no one's even just ignoring the box, because that's true creativity. So it's creativity that's gained from it. There's also that sense of attention and focus. When kids are focusing on what they enjoy, when you're in that pure sense of being lost in activity, you are in flow.
Present.
Where you're in flow, it's the ultimate state where everything happens amazingly. Because you didn't say, Jack, play with this for 10 minutes in this way, and then do this, and you say, go and find what you want to use to have a quiet time with, and do it. So he can change every day what it is. So for me, I can actually see in the kids that I see, kids don't have quiet time, which is why they're struggling with attention, with focus, with creativity.
Quiet time's not in front of the TV, not talking. That's not what we're going for.
And in the stillness also, they learn how to regulate emotions, because if you leave them with the task alone to figure it out, they become frustrated. Then they learn, stop, wait, go back to the task, because you're not intervening as the parent. So they are learning quite important executive functioning skills when they are left alone. I mean, can you stop yourself from stepping in and rescuing him when you see he's struggling with something? It's hard, hey?
Yeah.
As a parent, we don't like to see struggle. We want to see success. We want to see our kids learn something new quickly and feel accomplished. But when you intervene, you are actually stopping that from happening, the sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. Quiet time, is it a particular personality type that benefits the most from quiet time, or is it something that kind of just generally everybody can?
Children,
Oh, it would be a challenge for your high activity kind of temperament person who needs the go, who needs the busyness, who needs multiple devices, multiple conversations. So even as kids, there's activity levels that we have which are part of our temperament. So a low intensity child would be like quiet times, like for instance, my husband has loved lockdown. This closing the doors in the bubble, it's like the absolute, he loves it. Not seeing people, not needing to see socially, and I'm the opposite, you know. I'm like a flower that blooms with activity and with people. So that temperament, that activity level goes all the way through to adulthood because it's an innate trait you're born with. Some people need the busyness. So for quiet time, you'd find that particular person with a high activity level will struggle in centering and enjoying the quiet time. It'll take them a bit longer to actually figure out what the benefits are.
Oh, well, we'll hopefully find that quiet center. Shinaza is going to stick around. We're going to continue talking about finding that quiet time, that chill time, not just for your kids, but for you as a parent as well, which I think is absolutely vital to recalibrate, reboot that brain. If you can get it in daily, you're doing better than me. So we'll continue to get some great advice from Shinaza in just a moment.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
You only have one skin. Nourish it and wear it bravely.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's a Feel Good Breakfast Show, and of course we're doing something special once again, and we've got a little bit of a twist on what we would do when we're calling our fitness sessions for the morning. So a lot of stress comes with schools closing, family members getting sick, and being on lockdown and just stuck at home. And how often, I know I've heard of all the complaints, our parents have struggled to get their kids to relax and unwind at the end of a busy day. So this morning, this exercise is all about relieving stress and promoting relaxation in kids. And of course, I'm joined by my favorite and my friend Thabisa Makubela. Are you ready to unwind, my friend?
Let us.
A lot of stress that we've dealt with in the week, of course. So us as adults and not only kids, we can all benefit from this.
True.
And we did this about 2 weeks ago. We did a little kids story time session where we just kind of stole the focus away from a lot of the intensities that are going on in life.
I love those. I love your kids story times. It can be so interactive. The parents also can get so much benefit out of it.
Yes. So let's see if we can benefit from this, and everybody at home, you guys can join us too. So we're starting off our story. It's back in a very lush green forest in the middle of Africa. And there's very small villages around this forest in Africa.
Hammanskraal is one of them.
Yes, we can go to Hammanskraal. And we start off our journey, and we are going to become bathing apes, all right? So we are monkeys and baboons, and what we do is we start off by just perching on the mountain, checking out what we're going to get up to, and our scheming for the morning. And we're just looking around, taking in the day. And what we're going to do is we see something in front of us, and it looks like a nice little tree. So we start making our way in front of the tree, and we walk like monkeys, and we get to the tree. And while we're doing this, of course, Tubbs, we're going to be opening up those hips and working out those shoulders and the stabilizers at the same time.
I was waiting for the sound effects from you. Wow, come on, man. Come on.
All right, so now as our monkeys, what we're going to do is we've just found ourselves in front of a beautiful tree, and we're going to dig our hands out and find out what we can see in the tree. So we open up our right hand and we stretch and see if we can find anything in the tree. We don't see anything. It's just leaves, just rustling. So we try on the left-hand side as well now, Tubbs, and you're going to reach and stretch that left arm up as wide as you can. Try to get tall to the very top of the tree. We find we can't reach anything. There's just leaves here, so we think, let's stand up, let's get taller. So we rise up higher, and now we're reaching to the very tops of the canopies of the trees. We still don't know what's in this tree though, Tubbs. We're just monkeys searching around. We're looking for some food for the day, and I feel something. Feels a bit hard. Another one over here in my hand. So we're going to squeeze that. It's definitely some fruit. So let's go for a big squeeze. Let's see what we can get out of this fruit, and we squeeze it. Take a nice deep breath in, and you feel all the juice coming out of that fruit, and you're literally going to start drinking that juice straight out of your arm. It starts dripping down your arm while you're squeezing, and you can look to your left while you're seeing all that juice come out of your hand, and you can look down to the right-hand side, and you've definitely stolen someone else's food here. And you realize that as monkeys do. And we literally realize that as soon as the neighbor comes over and says, hey, you're stealing my fruit, and we start running. We make like a tree, and we leave, Tubbs, and we get out of here, and we start running away. All right, we know how to get away from our neighbor. And as soon as we do, we pretend like he doesn't see us. We make it around the corner, and we freeze as stiff as we can. And we hold our breath, and we keep still. Make sure he doesn't see us. We're just hiding behind the pole now. He can't see us at all. Keep breathing. Stay nice and calm. You don't want him to hear you. You don't want him to see you. You don't want him to catch all your lemons. And we realize he's gone. He's made his way around the corner. We're safe. We can relax. We can re-energize, and I think we can sit down now. We can chill on our knees and just take a little breather. Oh, that was a bit stressful. Got our lemons, of course, Tubbs. We can place them in front of us now, and we can start enjoying our meal. So while we do, we place the food in front of us, and we just take a little bit of a breath and stretch out. Take a big breath in, and you're going to feel your arms underneath those shoulder blades as well, just stretching out, and these are the lats as well. What this position is called is a child's pose, but we can refer to being a cat. We can once again refer to being a bathing ape, as we just relax in this child's pose. And what it does is it opens up the hips, it opens up the arms as well, and the diaphragm allows us to breathe in a very natural, organic position that we've been so used to as kids and as adults as well, and we've forgotten this position. And then we realize, that was good. We're going to take a big breath up now. We're going to open up, Tubbs. We're going to embrace the day. It's almost the end of the day. We're watching the sun go down as we take in what has been a successful adventure. We've successfully stolen some lemons from the neighbors.
That's very nice.
We've escaped.
So nice.
We've managed to evade it by being calm and relaxed. And we can anticipate and embrace the day. And we're going to press arms in front of us now. Once again, you're going to arch your back open, and you're going to point it towards the sun that you've just saluted to, and you're going to rise up once again. Bring your arms in front of you. Take one big breath, and you can say thank you for the lemons.
Thank you for the lemons.
Thank you for keeping me safe.
Thanks for keeping me safe.
And thank you for blessing me with this beautiful body to continue having the most incredible adventure for the rest of the day.
Thank you for blessing me with this beautiful body to help me continue having the most beautiful adventures throughout the day. The only, obviously, word of caution for everybody at home is do not try this at home unless you are a monkey. You cannot go off stealing people's lemons and oranges. But I mean, if you were a monkey, then you'd be okay, right? Because otherwise,
I can't argue with that.
This was really nice. I could literally stay in this position all morning.
Please don't, because you got to work today, right? I know it's sacred.
I'm going to hold on for as long as I can.
Enjoy, guys. I hope you're feeling unwinded, unstressed, and definitely a little bit more relaxed for the day. Enjoy the rest of the magic.
We
are definitely ready for the day, but we cannot continue with the morning without having 100% goodness, 100% refreshing smoothie to kickstart your morning. And we are showing you just how easy it is to make a delicious crushed tropical mango smoothie filled with 100% goodness. I have to invite Raul Demoni. Chef, you've been working so hard. I saw you doing your best to kind of try.
It was fun though. It was
show
really
Uncle
cool.
Tabs the ropes. How was that?
It was cool. I'm feeling like really energized. It's weird how you don't have to always do these crazy movements, but yet it just brings you just towards your center. It creates that awareness as well, and I'm feeling fresh and I'm feeling good.
And I have something really fresh and really good for you this morning. I'm talking about this crushed 100% refreshing, 100% fruity. So we're going to be making the smoothie. All we need our obviously Beyonce ingredient, which is the crushed. We chose mango this morning.
100%, yeah.
Yes, we have coconut milk over here.
Okay, I love it.
We have dried mangoes, but then we've rehydrated them with our crush over here. So basically you purchase your dried mangoes, then you pour some crush in there for 30 to 40 minutes so that it soaks it up and becomes a little bit more plump. And of course, we have our frozen crush over here. So this is where we start.
Concept, Kukla. I must just say, I've never ever actually tried that. You're basically re-moisturizing and rehydrating dried fruit.
Yes.
Oh, the game's done changed now. Wow.
We are reversing it. We are just, flipping the switch.
I love it. Okay, so what do we do first?
Firstly, I have to say that mango is one of my favorite flavors.
Can I tell you something interesting about mango as well? So you have a favorite, but I have the saying where we always used to say mangoes. Wherever a woman goes, a mango.
And that's exactly how it be, okay? So basically, Raul here, as you can see, I have my ice tray. I'm just pouring a little bit, I tried my best to pour half of the tray so that we can create like a 1 centimeter thick layer of mango crush ice. And then once this is frozen, obviously you're going to place it in your freezer and everything. You're going to pour your coconut milk over it. I'm trying my best.
Wow, I love that. You know, the best thing about coconut milk for me, it's not like your average milk. Can you see that viscosity and how thick and oily and creamy it is? Oh, just that alone looks already so good.
It's like I need a pudding to go with it for some reason. I don't know. And then we're going to place this in the freezer until it freezes. Until it freezes.
So around about freezer clock.
Exactly, that's what we're going with. So Ram, I'm going to need your help because you're not just going to stand here and look pretty. You're going to put those ice cubes. That's the final product, by the way, from, the thick layer of crush that we...
This looks so beautiful. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just thought to myself, how cool would this be just to make like a mini lolly or like an ice cream stick at the same time?
You could,
know
actually.
What I mean? That's quite a cute idea, yeah.
Just stick... your little stick things here on the tray and put it in the freezer and they'll come out like little ice lollies.
Killing two birds with one stone. Okay, but anyway, before we get too distracted, what is the next step? So I've got to crush these up now, right?
No.
What am I doing with it?
This is the aesthetic part.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to just please put these in the glass for us. Just fill the glass up for us.
Shall do so.
Now we are taking the rehydrated dried mango and we're going to put it in our blender with whatever's left of your coconut milk. You're also going to put it in the blender.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm with you now.
So we're going to create, it is a smoothie, so we do need that kind of thickness, kind of consistency.
This is going to taste good.
Obviously, we need more crush, okay?
More mangoes,
please. Already I can just smell the 100% freshness of it and 100% goodness of it. It's truly one of those things that are perfect for a breakfast or perhaps a midday
snack. I think a post-workout meal as well, like 100%. I agree with you. After a workout especially, you want to replenish your glycogen stores. You've got your fiber coming from your fruit. You've got your glycogen and your glucose coming from the fruit itself. So that's going to sustain you throughout the day, and it's natural as well. I mean, your coconut's giving you the good fat, lubricating the body and the joints. So, I mean, this is perfect for post-workout. I can't complain whatsoever when it comes to this. And it's smelling so good already.
So delicious.
Let's get our blend on.
We're going to top it off actually with our toasted coconuts. But for now, let's turn up. Give me a beat.
That is looking good. It is looking like it's like an oily orange fusion, pulpy, creamy. Can you open that? You need some help? I got you.
Yara. Oh, so difficult. Can you please open
I got you. All right, there we go.
Just like that.
So am I chucking it in the
Please.
I love the aesthetics on this. I'm very proud of you. You've been listening to Nicole singing quite a bit, I see. Eh? She'd be very,
Nicole
very
is
proud.
Look at how thick that is. Also, depending on the consistency that you want to achieve, you can add more of your Clover Crush goodness over here. Ral, you are so selfish. You just made one for yourself.
No, this is for you. I'm just here for the leftovers.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Madame.
Make sure to get this recipe on expressoshow.com. Oh,
coconut, of course, your final ingredient.
Don't forget your toasted coconut flakes, please.
Well done, Kukli. I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed, very proud, and I cannot thank you enough. How's it taste?
Get your 100% fresh, tasty, fruity, and refreshing goodness with Crush.
Made with love by Clover.
Ryle there with the save. Much better. He'd make a better keeper than Carriers for Liverpool, certainly.
Well done, son. Well
What
done.
a save. Now listen, as we know, Tropica is all about the smooth. And they posted a very smooth video last night on social media. Did you see it?
I didn't. I want to take a look.
Take a look.
Welcome to the School of Smooth, where I teach you how to be cool by the pool. Today's lesson, swimwear. Not smooth. Smooth. Tropica, nothing smoother.
That was smooth.
I mean, it's smooth. You're going to say smooth. I love that, man. You would definitely be, I think, the smooth guy with the Tropica towel. Mr. Smooth with your beachwear on Tropica Island of Treasure. We got used to kind of seeing you in the boardies, bro. It's Mr. Smooth.
I just need to upgrade to like towel over the shoulder, button down a little bit. I'm not summer ready yet, but yeah, thanks for that, Graham. So, what's your ultimate smooth wear category?
I would definitely say it's got to be the sunnies. Got to have some great sunglasses. Probably the flip-flops for me, and then you've got to have bucket and spade.
That's exactly what I had on in that picture. I had great sunnies. I had some cool flip-flops and a great flamingo.
And you had a flamingo. Well. Everyone needs a flamingo.
Listen, we all love our beach essentials very much. So those of you watching, head over to our Facebook page right now and tell us what is your ultimate smooth swimwear accessory. Now, smooth summer prizes will be up for grabs. So keep a lookout for the new smooth, not smooth Tropica promotional packs in store where you can enter and find out more details to win.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around, keeping it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are talking to Shimza Morris about quiet time, finding that stillness with our children in particular and the massive benefits thereof. And a lot of people, Shimza, it seems, are on the same mission as us this morning. We've had some great comments coming through. Vincent Dlamini saying, good morning to the team. Happy Wednesday. We stay inside and do homework and tell stories. I love that. Again, there seems to be such a strong tie to the imagination through this. Lebogang Tobajane saying, there's no quiet time with my kid. In fact, all the time, that's only the two of us. We sing our lungs out. Well, that's a kind of stillness. You know, singing is a great joy. Naomi Sylvester saying, my friends and I sit in my room reading, then listen to music, then I meditate at least 2 hours of a day in my room, very quiet. If you can achieve that, you're doing yourself a massive, massive favor. Obviously, when it comes to meditation, you get creative with your child because a child can't just sit and meditate. If you can achieve that, certainly with a 3-4-year-old, that's amazing. But the idea of stillness and quiet time, it's something that is so important to us. Why do you think we lose sight of that? Why do we not make time for ourselves, for our children, to make that quiet time, now knowing how important it is?
I think because we're getting that messaging that doing nothing is bad. We get messaging that not being busy is a sign of unproductivity, that stillness is overrated. And I started meditating in 2016, and I had like what we call a busy mind, constantly racing, thoughts overlapping, and it just creates overwhelm for you as a person. And when you find time, I can do 20 minutes, my max. I can't do a 2-hour, whatever that person just commented on, and already that's a benefit. Every morning I try to get it in. I've been on a mission though. I failed. 2020 hasn't been a good year for missions.
It's been a tough one.
To introduce meditation as a family. So every year we introduce a new practice as a family.
As a unit.
So I've been doing this for a while, but everyone's like, no, mommy, we're not interested. My husband's like, don't bring your work home. So it's been, I'm not giving up because I know the value, man, that 5 minutes, that 2 minutes, it doesn't actually matter what it is that you take to do nothing, to think of nothing, to just sit still quietly.
How are you going to get it right? How do you recommend people begin to introduce stillness or quietness, especially when it comes to a child? And how often should you be trying to achieve this? It should surely be a daily practice.
Yeah, the goal is daily, but I mean, like, I think you said Jack was 3. So I'd start with 10 minutes. But remember, it's not him sitting and closing his eyes all zen. It's him doing unstructured, something you didn't say, do this for now. Say, choose something you want to do for 10 minutes and go do it quietly. Put a little clock or something that he uses for time and say, this is it. When this goes, your time's up. And if you're lucky, he'll actually carry on because he may like the feeling of just...
Once he starts, he'll go.
Because we do kind of buy toys and we want him to play with them when it suits us and how to play with them. And so we don't give unstructured play. We kind of control things a lot.
I know that we as adults, we kind of get to that point where we are completely saturated, where the busyness can be, as you say, overwhelming, not being able to wipe that slate clean. What does it do to a child? What are the dangers of not having that quiet time?
So, you know how kids used to have lots of free play and lots of breaks and they could run and do things. So that was actually in a form of quiet time for them, resetting. So when they come from school, they've been sitting and sitting and sitting, and often they don't get to run as much as they want to. And then from there, they need to start with their homework. They need to, or do chores. So they don't get a chance to transition between school and home and just be a child, for instance. So it's hard for them because they are exhausted. I mean, they're literally exhausted from what is expected of them, home and school.
I'm thinking of my own family. We've also got a 5-month-old baby as well. So trying to find quiet time amidst that is insane. But you hit home on something. As a family, we have shared responsibilities. How would you suggest that a family goes about this? Because surely you and your partner can be a team in this. You can achieve this. How do we as a family achieve that quiet time? Do we share the responsibilities between us? How do we get this right? Because I'm just looking at you thinking, I would love to, but I just don't know. For me, my quiet time is sitting with Georgia, sleeping on my chest, and maybe that's beautiful.
And for now, that's what it is. So obviously, with kids as young as yours, you're going to have to split, divide and conquer in terms of choose who gets quiet time with who, and work on that. So it's not going to be everyone having quiet time together. it's going to be like little pockets of quiet time. So you get a chance with your son, and she'll get a chance, you know, with your and swap at a different stage or different day. So everyone is getting. So I mean, I know people who hardly read to kids anymore. Bedtime. They open their iPad or whatever, and they give it to the child, and the thing reads the story. Guilty, I did that for a little bit with my youngest. I was so fascinated by this, but it doesn't have the
novelty,
same. It doesn't have the same appeal as snuggling and story time, and you know the bond and you being there. You can't just press play and then there's story time. So even that quiet time for the evening before the child goes to bed, a story from an actual book.
Yeah,
you know, that's quiet time.
And it's how you bond with your child. I mean, last night Jack asked both of us to come and just be there for the story time, so I had to read to both of them, to the whole family. But just those 15 minutes of the lights being down, everything just mellowing out, it's amazing what it does to you as well. Shanaz, thank you so much. Some absolute gems in there. Hopefully this has inspired you to find a little quiet time. Just think about how you can be more mindful, more present. Just a little bit for you and your child will have huge, huge benefits. We promise you, just give it a try and you will see the proof.
All right, we're back again in the beauty room with our fashion and beauty editor, Nox Mafu. And of course, I happen to have the honor of being her muse today. We had 2 wardrobe options that you had the opportunity to vote for on our Facebook page. And of course, it was between the quintessential blue golfer and the tropics. Is it the tropics?
The tropics. We
called it
the tropics, very festive.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so the votes came in, and Renata said to the light blue quintessential, he says it has to be the Quinty What What.
Yes, Quinty What What in the morning.
And then Andile says, good morning, I would go for tropical. Then Fortunate Tropical seems cute.
Yes.
Reinette also then comes back, no, this is Reinette, not Renata. Reinette said, good morning, guys. Kat, the tropical shirt, it'll be the rest of your outfit. It'll bring it to life and spice it up. And then Nuran also said tropical. So the overwhelming majority went for the tropics, and that's what we're sticking with. And you know what? The cool thing and the weird thing about like what it is that you put on, it can really influence your mood. And just now we were musing about like what this shirt kind of conjures up in terms of feelings, and we were imagining just like being at a beach resort somewhere, and you've just woken up, the sun's just coming up, and you know you've got your beautiful tropics shirt on, you go for breakfast.
Oh, and then now you've eaten.
Yeah, and you're full and you feel kind of sluggish and sleepy.
Then we say massage.
Then you get a massage on the table, maybe somewhere with a little bit of a breeze going over your back. And then once they give you that deep massage, you're so faded and tired that you kind of just sleep.
That literally sounds like my dream.
And then you wake up and then it's like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I still have the entire day ahead of me.
It's cocktails, it's lunch, it's tropics, it's just vibes.
All of this just from a simple shirt.
I love it.
That's
but
what
that is the magic actually of fashion, you know. It can take you anywhere you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm very, very inspired. Thank you very much for voting on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. Do keep engaging with us with all over social media. #Expresso Show. We're going to take a quick break while I just kind of, let's just enjoy.
Let's just music in on this.
Oh, the tropics. Beautiful.
pretty sure you will agree with me when I say the cold winter months can cause damage on your already dry, sensitive skin, especially those battling with eczema, leaving your skin dry, cracked, and having to deal with eczema flare-ups. Whew, child. Fortunately, winter has recently come to an end, giving us time to repair the damage. This morning, we chat to dermatologist Dr. Ian Webster on how to manage eczema. A very good morning to you, Doctor. I believe you've just come out of theatre.
That's correct. I've just finished operating on a patient, and but the patient's all fine, and I'm ready for you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for prioritizing us this morning to talk about, the importance of taking care of our skin. For those of us, that don't fully understand what eczema is, please may you explain what eczema is and what causes it?
Eczema and dermatitis actually mean the same thing. All it means, it just means inflammation of the skin. And there's about 12 different types of eczema or dermatitis. And the endogenous eczemas, the common ones are what we call atopic dermatitis, seborrheic dermatitis, which is common in adults, and that's caused by an overgrowth of a yeast on your skin. We get nummular eczema, we get stasis dermatitis, so we get various internal types of eczema. And then we also get what we call exogenous eczemas, and those are where we become allergic to something like chemicals or things that we apply to our skin.
Is it something that is genetic, or is it also possible to develop it at any point in our lives?
It often occurs in people with what we call the ichthyoses. There's a whole group of conditions called the ichthyoses, genetically dry skin. And also people with asthma, hay fever are more likely to develop eczema. And that is a genetic thing. So that they can have this tendency literally from birth. And then it can also develop later on in life, like contact dermatitis. You can become allergic to the nickel in your costume jewelry. You could become allergic to hair dye. You could dye your hair for many years, and then you can become allergic to that.
So there are a lot of things or factors that we should be aware of that could cause that kind of outcome. You mentioned hay fever, doctor. Is that why, a lot of people struggle to manage eczema, especially in the colder months?
The colder air holds less moisture. So if the air is drier, if you live in Gauteng or there and you've got heaters, fires, electric blankets, the air becomes drier, and as a result of that, your skin becomes drier.
Now we are transitioning from winter to spring, and the summer days are also underway. Can the dry summer months also affect eczema, doctor?
Definitely. So all inflammatory skin diseases are made worse by heat or sweating. So people with eczema, it's often better in the spring or the autumn. So you don't want very cold weather, you don't want very hot weather. So the spring or the autumn is often better, although the spring you might get hay fever. So sometimes the eczema might get worse also in the springtime.
What are some of the other triggers of eczema that people may experience all year round, regardless of, what the temperature is like outside?
So common triggers are often people use the wrong products. They might use a harsh alkaline soap. The pH of your skin is 5.5. Some bath soaps are pH 10. So harsh soaps, household detergents, if you're doing a lot of dishes and washing up, that can take your natural fats out of your skin. Excessive use of toners or scrubs, or else just washing excessively. We're trying to wash away this coronavirus. So that is good, it kills the virus, but often you can develop a hand dermatitis with all this washing and the hand sanitizers. That can make it worse. The other thing is secondary bacterial infections can make eczema worse. Stress can also make eczema worse. And sometimes people wear a woolen jersey, and that contains lanolin, and that can also make eczema worse.
I know that Dr. Ian Webster mentioned that washing the dishes or doing some chores around the house may cause some eczema. That is not an excuse to run away from your chores. Finally, Doc, how can we best manage eczema all year round?
If you're going to insist your husband washes the dishes, make sure he wears some protective gloves, preferably latex-free gloves, so he's got no excuse not to wash the dishes. And what you need to do, you need to break the scratch cycle. So people get into the habit of scratching. And then often we need to use topical corticosteroid creams. And then need to use very gentle products, cream cleansers, soaps that are more acidic. and very important, use a proper moisturizer, especially in the dry winters, and a moisturizer that mimics your natural fats.
Dr. Ian Webster, thank you so much for joining us once again on your Feel Good Breakfast Show and just giving us, your expertise on how best we can manage our eczema. I hope that you have a fantastic morning further.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Managing eczema can be very difficult, especially during the colder months of the year, but with the right care and skin products, dry skin conditions will be the last of your worries. Dexerol skincare range is formulated specifically to treat dry skin and conditions such as atopic dermatitis, giving your skin the love it deserves.
Do you have dry skin caused by hand sanitizing? Keep the moisture balance with Dexerol, scientifically proven to restore dry skin. Dexerol, evidence makes us.
It's just gone 1 minute past 7 o'clock. Here's another look at the news headlines this morning. On the national news front, work has begun on the 3.4 billion rand Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone, with groundworks and the installation of bulk infrastructure currently underway. Now, this is part of an initiative of the South African government aimed at repositioning the country in the world economy. It'll be the first automotive city in Africa and is estimated to create over 8,700 jobs during the construction of the first phase of the project and around 2,100 permanent jobs for operations. Gauteng Premier David Makhura already has numerous investors lined up, so the facilities are being built to specifications for these companies. Now, the water situation in the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality has reached a crisis point and prompted the city to finally declare a day zero. The combined dam level of the 5 dams the area gets its water from, Koga, Churchill, Impofu, Grondal and Luri, is below 19% of their capacity. Water is being trucked into the areas with the worst outages after taps ran dry. Now, water provision has been intermittent for about 2 years, with some areas experiencing total water cuts for days at a time. The city said drought was to blame. On the international news front, Zambia's President Edgar Lungu has joined the nation in mourning the death of a fish that lived in a pond at the country's second largest university. Students at the Copperbelt University lit candles and marched around the campus to mourn the big fish. The hashtag Mafishi, as the fish was affectionately known, is trending on Twitter in the southern African state. Students have always believed that the fish would bring them good luck in exams. Mafishi was thought to be at least 22 years old and had lived in the university's pond for more than 20 years. In other news, India's top tourist attraction, the Taj Mahal, is set to reopen more than 6 months after it was shut, even as the vast nation battles soaring coronavirus infections. India, home to 1.3 billion people, yesterday overtook Brazil to become the world's second most infected nation, with more than 4.2 million cases, behind only the United States. Visitors will be limited to 5,000 a day, down from the usual daily average of 20,000. Now, one of the new 7 wonders of the world, the Shining Marble Mausoleum, has been closed as part of India's strict virus lockdown. And next, a sweet story that'll tug at the heartstrings of all parents. When Brandon and Ashley Boyers approached the local county animal shelter in Jackson in the U.S. state of Michigan to view chickens as pets for their son, they never expected to take home a puppy. But when they saw a black and white pup with a cleft lip, just like their son's, they knew it would be a perfect addition to their family. And when 2-year-old Bentley was introduced to the 2-month-old puppy, it was love at first sight. With surgeries already under his belt for his cleft lip, Bentley had found his match in this tiny pup, which also had a cleft lip. Now, Mom Ashley said it was so touching and exciting to experience their budding friendship. She said Bentley could now grow up and understand that he and his puppy both had something in common they could share. And the team at the animal shelter wrote on Facebook, quote, "It is so hard to put into words how meaningful this adoption is to all of us. We wish them many years of joy and happiness as the special pair grow up together." Well, on that note, hopefully it's put a smile on your face. That's it for the news at 7 o'clock. Right now, let's take another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Well, unfortunately, Kat, we start on a sad note for our double Olympic champion, Caster Semenya, who has lost her appeal to Switzerland's Federal Supreme Court against the restriction of testosterone levels in female athletes. This means that the 29-year-old will not be able to compete in events without taking testosterone-reducing medication. Semenya is a hyperandrogenic athlete and has repeatedly stated that she will not take any drugs to comply with the regulations. She said she is very disappointed with the Swiss court's decision. Staying in South Africa, we move to cricket. Former Free State and VKB Knights all-rounder Dylan du Preez has been appointed as the assistant coach of the national women's cricket team. The 38-year-old retired from playing cricket in 2017 and has since taken up coaching. Du Preez has signed a 3-year contract with Cricket South Africa and will work under head coach Hilton Morieng. And staying with cricket, but on an international level, Australia claimed a consolation victory in the final T20 international match. That, of course, against England at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton last night. The hosts won the 3-match series after winning the first 2 encounters. Australia chasing 146 runs, reaching their target with just 3 balls to spare to beat England by 5 wickets. So they stay in the quarantine zone. The sides now move to the Emirates Old Trafford for 3 one-day internationals, and that kicks off on Friday. Well, that's a wrap of your sport for this morning. Let's take one last look at the skies and get the latest on the weather front.
Let's get into the second look at the weather report, but first here are your sunrise pictures. Linda McMillan is representing the KZN region with the sunrise picture captured in Durban. Durban starts off the morning with a low of 16 degrees with a warm afternoon temperature of 25 degrees. Nick Lombard never fails to stun us with his gorgeous sunrise pictures from Lourensfontein in the Northern Cape, followed by this caption: "Good morning, #Expresso morning show legends. Have an awesome day and warm day. Greetings from the Quivertree Forest District of South Africa in the Northern Cape. It sure will be a sunny day for you with a maximum of 29 degrees. Thank you so much for your sunrise pictures. Continue to share them on our social media pages and we will show them live on the show. Now, Cape Town very nearly ran out of water in 2018. At the height of the crisis, the city restricted residents to 50 litres each a day to cover drinking, cooking, washing and bathing. Cape Townians became accustomed to capturing their bath water to flush toilets and to harvesting rain. Hotels removed stoppers from bathtubs to curb usage by tourists, and the near disaster even prompted suggestions of towing icebergs from the Antarctic to the Cape Coast to bolster fresh water supplies. Now, thanks to the best winter rains for several years, its reservoirs are almost full and dam levels are closing in on the 100% mark. Those are certainly great news to hear. Now let's get into the temperatures for the day. Polokwane 9:25, a partly cloudy day, and Mbombela at a low of 12 degrees with a high of 24. Pretoria starts off the morning on a minimum of 9 degrees and will reach a high of 27. Johannesburg 8:25 are your temperatures for the day. Mahikeng, it's a sunny day with a maximum of 29 degrees. Klerksdorp follows suit with a maximum of 29 degrees. Kimberley 13:31, Bloemfontein 5:28, Richards Bay 16:28, a sunny day at Pietermaritzburg. Don't forget your sunblock with a maximum of 30 degrees. South Africa's Playground Durban 15:25, moving down to the Eastern Cape Mthatha 8:34 is your maximum. It's going to be a scorching hot day in Mthatha. East London 13:25, Cradock 7:34, and Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 13 starts off your morning with an afternoon temperature of 24 degrees. George 13:19, Cape Town's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 26. Worcester 12:27, Sutherland 2:27, and Uppington starts off this Wednesday with a low of 13, reaching a high of 33 degrees. That was your final look at the weather for today. Remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day. For now, here's how you can win with BuySmart.
Thank you very much, Kuhle. So tomorrow morning, it's happening. Tomorrow morning, one lucky viewer is going to be spinning our virtual wheel of prizes, and so many prizes to choose from right here in studio. Stand a chance of winning either a queen-size bed, a fridge, a washing machine or a smartphone, right?
Yeah, now wishing it was you, well, it could be your reality if you sign up to BuySmart today, and you'll not only get rewarded with points, but also get put into a weekly prize draw that'll be kicking off tomorrow, and it will be happening every Thursday for the next 3 weeks on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Yeah. And signing up is easy, right? I mean, they've made it so easy. Signing up for BuySmart is really as simple as going on WhatsApp or scanning the QR code that's on your screen. You can earn points for qualifying purchases on products like Jungle Oats, Tastic, Koo, Albany, and a whole lot more.
Yum. Now listen, all you have to do is send the word hi, simple as that, hi, to a WhatsApp on 072 897-6278. And all you got to do after that is simply follow the steps or open your camera and scan the QR code to get the link to sign up. As simple as that, yeah.
We're encouraging everyone to go out there and browse, buy smart promos and products. There's so many awesome deals on there. Upload your till slip when you've purchased qualifying products, then receive points for your purchases, and then use those points to unlock rewards like airtime, data, as well as shopping vouchers. They're all available on there, and you can sign up on the go, which makes it so much easier.
Ah, man, incredible. Now, don't forget, you stand a chance to win weekly prizes, including a queen-size bed, a fridge, a washing machine, or, yeah, a smartphone too, and that's all just when you sign up. So here are the QR codes one more time, and who knows, you could be spinning our virtual wheel of prizes, and that's happening tomorrow, and you're going to be able to walk away with a big prize, and you can be a big winner with Buy Smart. And of course, don't forget the T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
Good luck. Get rewarded for your shopping choices with Buy Smart. Send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. You will stand a chance of winning incredible prizes weekly on Expresso. Have your story of hope published by Cadbury Dairy Milk. Now, there's a story in everyone, so whether real or imagined, share yours, and it could be amongst the 20 most inspiring stories compiled into an e-book that brings hope, light, and wonder to orphaned and vulnerable children across the land. Add 087-240-6488 to your WhatsApp contacts, follow the prompts, and share your story as a Word document, a PDF, or a video recording. Standard data rates apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. All the feel good coming your way. Thank you so much for hanging out with us still. This next guy, he's going to really be such an inspiring one to check out. At the end of this interview, you're all going to be wanting to be his friend. From aspiring DJ and producer at the age of 15 to an international leading light in the global house music scene. We're joined by one of South Africa's most inspiring and brightest talents. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for Shimza. Come on. Woohoo! Yes, that's it. Shimza, good morning.
How are you, man?
I am so good. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
So fantastic. Listen, at the beginning of this month, we saw you entering Women's Month by buying a car for the most important woman in your life, your mother. Tell us about that.
I mean, man, she's been the pillar of my strength. You know, she has been a single mom since I lost my dad at a very young age. I think I was about 6 or 7. And she has just been working so hard, you know, to keep us in school and making sure that we don't even feel the absence of a father, you know. So I think it was quite dope for me to be able to do this for her, especially because she just retired from her teaching career, you know. So I think I thought I should just do that for her, you know.
What a special thing, and what such a beautiful gift. I mean, just watching that video and some of those pictures that have come through, her reaction was absolutely priceless. So congratulations on that. But let's talk about the entertainment world. You know, we know that the arts and entertainment industries, they've carried a lot of people through this pandemic, really played such an important role. Have you been working on any new material during this time? Did you finally find that you could step back from all of the noise and just get into some new projects?
I think for me, it's been one of my most productive times, you know, because I feel like I've been home chilling, thinking about the next move and thinking about what I could do that could at least put in some income, you know, since you know that our income as entertainers has sort of like gone from whatever it was to zero, you know. So I think keeping fit in terms of your mindset and positive has been something that I've been working on. And I think I sort of got it. You know, I sort of got it where I created one or two things that sustained me for the duration of lockdown.
You know, the fact is, and you're right to say, a lot of artists went from whatever they were earning to a point of zero. Many artists are really feeling the pinch as a result of the lockdown. How have you managed to sort of pivot during this lockdown and still entertain fans and remain, I suppose, relevant in that sense?
I mean, I looked at ways in which we could still communicate and be in contact with the people that really like supporting us. And I decided, I mean, we're all home and we're watching TV, and what better way to be in contact with people if you can create something that they can watch from the comfort of their homes, you know? And I created the Lockdown House Party, which did very well, which was not only a show that was done for me and my friends, but it was a platform in which artists could still have a platform to reach out to their fans. With that, it has also opened up another avenue for my company to do TV production stuff, you know. So I think, like I said, I was a bit proactive and pushing throughout lockdown.
Finding ways to keep the people entertained during this difficult time, where the entertainment really did keep a lot of people going during this very, very, very difficult time and so uncertain as well. But of course, Shimza's going nowhere. He's still here with us on your Feel Good Breakfast show. More with him after this.
Thank you so much. What a way to stay productive through such an intense time, setting a brilliant example there. So let's turn now to the opportunity to win and win big. I suppose every week, every day, maybe we have to fill our cars with petrol. You've got to buy groceries. You've got to make some sort of purchase. So why not use this spending opportunity to win some cash at the same time? So courtesy of Nedbank, when you spend 500 Rand or more on your Nedbank credits or your Nedbank check card, you could win 2,500 Rand in instant cash. Wow. All you have to do is make a purchase, then SMS Nedbank to 33728 to register your entry.
Absolutely. And if you are not a Nedbank client and also want in on the win, then of course, if you open a Nedbank check or credit card online and make a purchase of 500 Rand, they will double your prize and give you 5,000 Rand in cash. So go ahead and open an account online at nedbank.co.za. Swipe, tap or scan for 500 Rand or more, and then SMS Nedbank to 33728 to register your entry.
Good luck, man. It really could. It couldn't be any easier, I think. So make sure that you capitalize on this golden opportunity. I mean, we can all do with 5 grand. And we are looking forward to announcing our winners on the show, and it could be you. That competition is going to close on the 18th of October. So you've got a bit of time to start spending today. Terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. I am with my favorite human being right next to me, Unogsma, for everybody.
Baby girl.
Nox, we know that we have just transitioned to spring, and spring adds new life and new beauty to every single thing. And it's a golden opportunity for us to experiment with new scents this season. Now, our resident fashion and beauty editor is here to unpack the newest, freshest fragrances from our W Beauty. Looking stunning.
Thank you.
And might I add that she smells divine. And I need to know which one you used in a little bit. Nox, we just got into spring. We know that spring births new life. You know, it gives that thing, vivaciousness, life, you know, to new things, especially after a dry season like winter does. So how can a scent enhance, you know, or elevate the overall living experience?
So I think, you know, smells have a great way of just lifting a mood. You know, we're in spring, so you've got lighter tones. We're going to start to see a lot more kind of vanilla, which is really actually great for calmness. And I love that smell has a really direct impact on us. So if you're looking for more like your white rose kind of smells, that also does something for you. But jasmine, for instance, is great for kind of alertness. So all these elements, you know, are really key ingredients that we're going to start to see from your vanilla, your jasmine, your kind of white rose scents, also your green fruity tones. Really citrusy smells are all the rage at this time, and they do a number for lifting the mood, for keeping you alert, and also just smelling amazing.
I love the fact that you touched on the point of uplifting the mood, because it goes above and beyond what you smell like, but what it makes you feel like as well.
And the people around you, you know, I think it's always so lovely. Don't you love it when someone says, oh, but you smell great?
All day, every day, girl.
It's even better than like, you look good, because I mean, but to smell good, it really just has a great sensory feeling for anyone around you.
Which scents should we be looking out for this spring?
So there are some incredible stuff from Woolworths Beauty. So we're looking here at the Light Heart Sincera, right? Really beautiful design, such romantic tones. You can even see in the design there a really, really like white rose base, which is really, really great for someone who likes a more romantic smell. Honestly, like, I wish you guys could smell it. I wish you could smell it. I'm just gonna... Yeah, boo. You see?
And it also has kind of like a very sweet tone to it as well.
So very, very sweet. I actually love that you said that, Gotle. This is really, really for like, you know, a night out. It's also great for the day, but I really, you know, that freshness that's kind of staying in the room now with us. It's really, really great for kind of a picnic, but a really romantic date night. This is your date night go, right?
Got you.
So then, of course, we then move on to a more modern smell, right? So this is the Fleur. What I love about this, it's got a modern base, right? It's got green fruity tones, a more oriental kind of wooden smell, and this is really, really great for the the woman on the move, you know? So less of the fruitiness and the kind of frill around it, but this is more of a solid base, a sleek, very green fruity vibe. So we can even see here, I'm just gonna take here, the packaging already speaks to that. A really romantic and great modern smell to have with warm woods to add. But this one,
where would you wear this one? More office-y or?
Definitely, I like that. So definitely for the office, a day-to-day kind of smell, not something that's really gonna take over a room, because I mean, you're interacting with a lot of people. So I think this is a great way to kind of keep you going through the day, and a solid base for any work and go. Then we have my favorite. I love this.
The one that you have on right now.
This is the one I have on right now. So this is the Fleur, right? This is kind of the OG, and it's got a more powdery. I'm gonna do this. I have to.
Please, you have to.
I have to. Ooh, here we go. This is great. It's got this kind of blossom, flowery kind of scent to it. A really kind of a subtle smell, you know what I mean? I love the fact that, you know, even once you smell it, we're kind of feeling it now. It really has a very baby tone to it. Not that it's for babies, but it really just has that softness to it. I love some things that are fresh, gives you a sense of kind of flowers, there's a really romantic sense to it. Not as sweet as the one I showed before, but really a lighter tone to it. So really, this is my favorite. And for the packaging, again, really just speaks to that white rose experience. Really romantic. So if you're on the lookout for this, this is your girl.
What I love about W Beauty is that they pay attention to every single detail. We've touched on, you know, the packaging as well. You see the romance, not only in the scent, but also how the bottle is structured with the little detailing on it. It kind of gives you a direction of where.
Exactly, where you want to wear it. Absolutely. And I think, you know, smells are great in terms of getting all of them. You don't want to have one singular smell. So I'd really encourage our viewers to like mix and match, really like try one for one evening and another. Obviously you don't want to put them all at the same time because that's crazy. But really, fragrances have a lovely way of lifting the mood. I mean, the room itself already speaks to that. So yeah, fragrance, number one.
But if I could say though, not being biased or anything, not that Nogs kind of nudged me in that direction, but that one with the rosy kind of undertones, for me, sets the tone for spring. It just says spring.
It says spring. It's just, and I think it's the roses. I think it's the feeling of bloom that we're getting from the undertones of this fragrance. Really great. Also very like easy to take around. So if you're someone who travels a lot or moves a lot, this is a lovely kind of package where you can slip it into your travel bag once the borders are open, obviously. Then you can get that on the move. But really a lovely accent to any outfit.
As you've mentioned, smelling nice is one of the best compliments. Have you ever walked past someone or someone walks past you and they leave this
and you look back, you're like,
what was that?
Why do they smell so good? And I'm not afraid to ask. I'll be like, sorry, hi.
Really?
If it smells good, I want to know.
Let me know what you do when you find that someone smells really good. Do you actually approach them and ask, yo, what perfume are you using?
I have no shame.
I mean, we just say W Beauty, baby. That's it. Noxma, thank you so much for always coming through and putting us on when it comes to beauty, fashion, and now spring fragrances. Now express the inner you this season with the perfect scent from W Beauty. You can shop all these fragrances and more from Woolworths in in-store, online, or on the Woolies app. But right now, let's see what's cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, from seasonal fragrances to seasonal recipes. That's what we're all about in the kitchen right now. But before we even get started, Ryle,
yes.
I don't know if you checked out one of Uncle Tabsy's latest posts on Twitter.
I might not.
So he says, do you ever just like wake up in the morning in your undies, just like hop into the car and go to the drive-through because, you know, it doesn't matter anyway, you know? And then, have you? And then he goes, is it just me?
So you're asking me if I've woken up and just not cared about anything in the world?
Just like in your undies.
And
then you get into your car and then drive to the drive-through and then go back home with whatever you've ordered. No, Uncle Tabsy, it's just you. I'm sorry. It's just you. No.
But he's definitely setting a bar there, and it might be a new trend. I'm gonna try that out, maybe. Why not?
He's setting a bar?
Well, okay, not a bar, maybe a stool. He's setting a stool.
This just keeps getting worse. Let's get into the recipe, okay?
Yes.
Now, of course, spring has most certainly sprung, which is evident in the magnificent canola fields in bloom across the Western Cape in the light of spring, of course, and the vast array of produce available as a result as well. So we present to you the Be Well Seasonal Spring Soup, and it's a beautiful, lighter, broth-based variety of soup, which is filled to the brim with fresh vegetables ranging from onions and asparagus and barley to broad beans, all blended together perfectly with Be Well canola and olive oil. And if you have a look at this spread of ingredients, this is just, it speaks health. It shouts health in your face.
It does, Kat. It speaks health, of course. So head over to expressoshow.com where we're going to be showing you all the incredible reasons as to why we're creating a fragrance in the kitchen, which you all are going to just absolutely love.
A deliciousness.
And yeah, we've got some fresh ingredients. It's synonymous with spring, of course. So we've got some spring chives and all those flavorful and fun ingredients. And yeah, we're going to go straight into it. So what we're doing is starting off with our master ingredient. We've got the canola and olive oil blend. So I'm going to pop that into a pot here, and we're going to start off by just kind of browning our mushroom and our onion, all right? So this is the fun part. This is where you get that little sizzle. There it is, which I love so much. And another point is, don't be afraid when you are putting your onion and you're starting that browning process, especially when it comes to a soup. It's fine to get that burn and that brownness, because what's going to happen later on when we chuck the veg in, it's going to get lifted up from all that veg and that heat. So it's just going to add some flavor and some love in.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I thought we were making soup here.
What do you mean? We're in the kitchen. You're always making all the good things in life, and food is just one of them. Yeah.
Don't waste those mushrooms, bro. Like they were chopped up very finely this morning by poor Kelly.
All right, I got you. I see you loving the mushroom life.
All of them, and the onions as well. Waste not, want not, right?
I shall do so. So basically, we get this all browned up, Kat. We get this all browned up. It's really smelling so
the
good.
flavor base of any good soup.
And then we're going to start dumping in some of these fresh ingredients, right? So we've got barley over here, really good carb. It's a whole grain as well, so it's got some fiber in it. So we're really going to benefit quite well from that. We've got some celery over here as well, again, some fiber. This is going to add some value, and it's a good green, keeping it alkaline. Some carrots, of course, it's good for the eyesight. I love these, of course. Bugs Bunny does too as well. It's good for the teeth. And then we've got some, what looks like chives, I would say. It's a very potent ingredient. Adds some of that flavor, balances all of these ingredients out, so you've got that acidity, the texture, and everything else.
Those are actually leeks.
Are they leeks? Wow, I didn't even know my own ingredients here. I thought I was adding chives, but leeks will do. Leeks will do.
Chives are very thin. Like they're very, very thin.
All right, so
small kind of greens.
What are we gonna do now is chuck all of these master ingredients in. So the barley goes in here. And then I like to be flamboyant sometimes, but let's be cultured and use a spoon, Kat. You know, I like to just. I'm the kind of guy in the kitchen. I'll just go for the 3-point shot.
Oh my word! I'm sure South Africa's waiting to see that happen.
And then, of course, I'm gonna add some of the garlic into here.
That is like the scent of cooking. Whenever you walk into somebody's kitchen and there's garlic in the air, you know we're cooking.
Name one thing in the kitchen that you wouldn't use garlic with.
Wow, ice cream?
Fine, you win. And then lastly, can I just put some thyme into this as well? So we're just stirring this all up. And then I've got a beautiful, just to add to the trend, we haven't used any meat so far, so we're keeping it nice and vegan. I've got a vegan chicken stock here, which is just the most incredible addition.
There you go.
And it's going to bring everything to life. And of course, we're getting that broth into this. Yeah.
An actual kind of interesting thing that Nicole, who's kind of like the master of our kitchen here alongside Kelly, told us is that if you have a look at the ingredients of stocks, all stocks are actually vegan because they're flavored, the cubes that is, the stock cubes, they're flavored in order to mimic the flavor, in this case, of the chicken or whatever the case may be. But if you have a look at what's in the cubes, it's all vegan.
Don't you think it's crazy how they can replicate such powerful and vivid flavors?
Like, how do you make chicken flavor?
Where do you start?
What does chicken flavor consist of? Do you know what I mean?
Like eating feathers.
No, what do you mean it's like eating feathers? No.
I don't know, I'm just saying, where do you start?
wait, Ryle, have you eaten feathers before? Do you want to tell us something?
So one time I had a rough night in bed, sleeping on my own, and the pillow just burst open in the duvet, so I was like, well, I woke up with like some feathers on me, man. Doesn't that ever happen? You got a nightmare and you're screaming, ah, and then the pillow explodes.
And you chewed? Okay, let's just get on with the rest of the recipe.
All right, Kat, so while we were having our debate, the soup's been simmering here, so I put it on nice and low, and now I'm going to add that sort of top-off ingredient.
Yeah, but at home you let it simmer for about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes or so, and you don't want to over-cook it as well. You don't want to get like purely mush. You still want to have some vibrance, some of that fiber still playing along with the meal. And now we're going to add some of our real flavorful ingredients. And this is where you can get a little bit, I guess, creative.
Yeah.
So if you don't like something like asparagus, as example, I'm obviously chucking this in. You don't have to use that as an ingredient. Again, these are the things that you don't necessarily want to overcook. We don't want to get it too mushy. I like the crunch. I'm adding courgettes here. Courgettes. You almost caught me out again.
Well, if you like. Courgettes are also available in store. Courgettes.
So courgettes are like really, they're like manly courgettes, you know, like the hard, rock solid.
Yes, sir. Okay. What else you got?
All right, and then we're just going to put some beans in here. We've got some broad beans and some green beans as well, which I love to just keep crunchy.
And
so those are leaving like right at the end, and some peas as well. Thank you very much, Kat. And then, of course, Swiss chard.
Hey.
Yes, Swiss chard. You like the pronunciation of that one?
Your courgettes and your Swiss chard. Get it in there.
All right, so Kat, that is pretty much it. I mean, what we're going to do at the end is obviously top it off with some salt.
Yeah.
You know, you do the thangs there, and then a little bit of pepper just to balance that out. And again, like I said, we've obviously had most of the veg cooking for about 30 minutes and getting nice and soft and creating that beautiful broth.
Yeah.
And then we just topped it off with that crunchiness and brought it to life with all those greens. And then fast forward into the future, voila! You have your beautiful,
it looks really good.
Your beautiful soup. Obviously, it's vegan. It's got all the essentials, all the minerals, all the broth and the goodness that you need to just power you.
Just a little touch of magic, though. We've got, of course, our beautiful home farm here. So I'm going to take some of these
nice addition.
microgreens.
You know, we never use this home grow enough, and I love this full spectrum light growing in here. You don't even have to use any freaking soil. It's just straight out of the pan.
So I'm just going to get it, and obviously the nice thing is that because they've been grown hydroponic style, so you can just kind of take them right off there. There you go. There you go. You don't even need to wash them. Boom, just like that.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful stuff. Make sure you get those courgettes for this recipe as well. But you can check it out on expressoshow.com, and if you missed any of the steps in us making this, take a quick look at this.
Go get your courgettes.
Love, food, life.
Level 2 is here, which means all travel, including leisure travel, is once again permitted within South Africa. Whether it's a weekend away in Durban, Johannesburg or Cape Town, there is so much beauty to explore in our own country. Mango cares about travel. So, treat yourself and your loved ones to a well-deserved break. For safe and affordable travel, visit www.flymango.com. Go discover more. Go Mango. Book now. Terms and conditions apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still with your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso here on SABC3. Of course, we are cruising at an altitude of feel so good. We're joined by Shimza on the line. Of course, such an inspiring international producer and DJ who's done such an incredible job flying the South African flag all over the world when it comes to house music production. But of course, now stepping into a new realm altogether, which we've just been told by him, getting into the world of TV production and content creation. But you cannot drop the name Shimza without associating it with community work and giving back. Shimza, I know that you've been doing a lot of that during this time. What initiatives have you been involved in, and how can people get involved?
I mean, I've got a show that I've been doing for the past 11 years, which is Shimza's one-man show, you know, and the basis of that show is to sort of use my influence in the entertainment space to create festivals that can raise money to give back into the community in terms of either school shoes or school stationaries for people that can't afford, for buying food and all of those things for the people in our communities, you know. So during lockdown, I could obviously I couldn't have the big festivals that I always do, so I created a TV version of it, which was flighted on one of the TV stations, and I did them at like quite iconic places. You know, the first one was on the 16th of June, and that was at the Mandela statue at the Union Buildings, and then the next one I did was the first ever musical festival that has ever been done on Robben Island, you know, which for me was quite a big thing, you know, to say during Mandela Day, which is a giving back time for us as South Africans, I can play a role in using my influence to create something that people like and can donate towards us feeding the people that have been affected by COVID.
And there is so much need out there, but there's also so much that we all can do to help those who are less fortunate. Shimza, obviously, during this time, you're not able to do the work that you do in terms of giving back in the way that you traditionally have. But is there anywhere that people can go onto outside of watching your shows to help out in these efforts?
I think everything that I've done was during my shows that I've done, like the June 16, the Mandela Day stream, you know, where I had like a QR code on screen where people could scan and donate. And I think some of those links are still up on my social media platforms. So people can still go out there, go on YouTube, watch the stream that I did on Robben Island, which was, I think, very iconic, you know. They can still donate towards those things that we were raising money for.
Okay, so before I let you go, let's chat about new skills. I know that, you know, being an artist and being a musician, you know, you're always finding that extra time here and there to, you know, to do interesting things. Are there any new skills or hobbies that you've picked up over the lockdown period? Can we expect you cooking up a storm? Maybe have you learned how to cook and you're going to be doing dinners? I mean, what have you picked up during this time?
I've been trying to cook here and there, learning a bit of cooking. And I think the one thing that I've been very consistent with right now is running 10 kilometers a day, you know. So I think that's one thing that I'm really proud of, that I've into. So I hope I can sustain that even after lockdown.
Shimza, you're fantastic, man. Thank you so much. So nice catching up with you. I wish you all the best with all the amazing work that you're doing out there on the music scene, but of course in the communities that you impact. Thanks for spending time with us this morning.
Thank you so much for the platform, for us to share our stories. I just hope that one or two things that we've mentioned in the interview can really spark something in other people to sort of help where they can and use whatever influence they have to impact the communities that have built us.
And the truth is, people can do something. There's always something we can do for the next person. But of course, if you've ever seen Shimza at work, you'll understand why he's affectionately known as Effect Master and Vinyl Assassin by his fans. It's not a lie, it's a fact. We can't wait to see him on the big stages that he belongs on once again, once all of this is over. Once again, thanks, Shimza.
Thanks very much, Uncle Tabsy. Right now, time for us to catch up with our favorite movie critic, movie buff, if you will. JP Sebastian back in the studio to talk about some of the latest films that we can expect on the silver screen, some of which might have him excited, others maybe not so much. But I know that the first one is one that you are, I don't know, you kind of look like you were upbeat about it, right?
I mean, like it might not be able to, you know, you can't tell what's going on in my face with my exuberant shirt. Does all the talking for me.
I'm joining the leagues of the tropics.
Yes, they've dressed us like this, by the way. Did we just look too bland? Like, did we look like this?
Clearly our faces just don't do enough.
So, speaking of the tropics, the movie's called Never Gonna Snow Again.
Yes.
It is Poland's official submission for Oscar consideration for next year. So that doesn't mean nominated, but it's there.
Yeah.
They won the
This is our best that we can offer for the year, so please.
Man, like, is anyone caring about 2020? So, like in the trailer, it's like 2021. Watch out for it. Who cares about what happens with movies this year? But this looks like the kind of thing similar to, I was just telling you during the break about movies like, say, American Beauty.
Yes.
Or Trouble, anything where there's like trouble in the suburbs, like stuff going sideways. But it also has a supernatural element to this. So this masseuse, this mystery dude, strange looking, I must say.
He looks like the guy from SNL. He's got a little bit of a look to him, but anyway, I'll try to remember his name.
Yeah, he's the weird guy who does the news.
Yes. Yeah, no. What?
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Andy Samberg.
The finger is appropriate there because Andy Samberg, yeah, you're right. He does look like a more broad, like taffied out, stretched out Andy Samberg. So he's almost like this magical character. No one knows where he's from, and I don't think he doesn't knows what's going on either. He has what seems like telepathic abilities, but he has this magical touch in the dreary, cold, driving snow of Poland. There's a nice tropical shot there with leaves in the background, and he sort of brings sunshine into the lives of these wealthy people who have been going through the motions and the drudgery of well-to-do life, and he becomes some sort of, like, I don't know, fetish for them, some sort of talisman of good tidings. And I suppose that's what you always feel like. Weren't you talking about massages earlier?
Yes, we were talking about massages and the idea of being at a tropical island and just kind of...
and you just want to keep going back.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think that's sort of what the story's playing on here, is like the not metering yourself between the snow and the sun kind of thing, and just wanting the sun the whole time, and then clearly madness ensues. It looks like the kind of thing you might see from, like, I don't know, David Cronenberg is another director we'll be talking about during the Facebook Live shoot, but yeah.
Okay.
Looks nice and trippy.
All right. Yeah, exciting
danger with
trippy.
like an edge of like bland, but just at the edges of the bland. It's like
I'm still confused as to how you feel about this. But anyway, let's go on to our next one, perhaps inspired by the beautiful flowers in our studio, Yellow Rose.
Yellow Rose is, by the way, all of these movies are on your artsy movies. These are your indie movies that I'm talking about just for a bit. Because you have to eat your veg before you get your pudding. I'll talk about the big commercial stuff later. Yellow Rose starts off pretty enough. You go, oh my goodness, this actor has a really beautiful voice. She's a young, aspiring country singer. She has a mother who's a hotel maid and just going through the motions of trying to, you know, keep her daughter treading water in Austin, Texas. It's a dream city for indie country musicians. She meets a boy who's like, hey, maybe I can hear your music sometime. So it's good, ticking all the boxes. You think, I've seen A Star Is Born, I know this movie.
Yeah.
She meets one of her heroes who you're looking at there, and I think he's a real-life country dude, but I don't know country music that well. Dale Watson, if anyone knows that. However, my heart started pounding at this point in the trailer. And stuff literally takes a right turn, and far right, I should say.
Wow.
She is an undocumented Philippines person, and her mother gets taken by ICE, the immigration and customs, whatever. I don't care what their name is. They're a horrible, horrible, horrible entity who just last week detained a 2-year-old.
Wow.
And so she has to try and tackle with this coming-of-age story that you just thought was going to be going through the numbers of, say, A Star Is Born, which was beautiful, or some sort of teen coming-of-age type thing, but also has to deal with the fact that many thousands of American people, or just humans, who cares what your nationality is, borders are arbitrary, have to go through trying to live a dreamy life, trying to achieve achieve their goals while, hey, my mother is detained in a cage by the customs and immigration, whoever they are.
Wow.
ICE. Yellow Rose really looks like this. Wow, this actress, by the way, by age 22 had 2 Tony nominations.
Wow. Okay.
She has a Grammy. I don't know who the heck she is or where she's been, but she's clearly going to be a revelation.
Translating from the stage to the silver screen now.
Yeah, and that obviously brings its own presence and its own energy. I really look forward to this. There are no dates for NSA for any of these, though, so surely enough, this will be a content of some sort eventually.
All right. Kind of keeping on that trend, if you will, with the title of the next one, Fugitive Dreams.
Yes, and again, American stories by American movie makers who are really trying to get something off their chests lately. Fugitive Dreams looks like a more sprawling, meditative kind of tale. The entire trailer is undergirded by an instrumental of one of my heroes and one of the heroes of millions of people around the world, Woody Guthrie, doing the track "This Land Is Your Land," which is a famous battle cry, call to arms of the downtrodden and the oppressed, and it follows this woman who is, I suppose the term should be, although we should just be frank with ourselves, you can call them houseless, but these are homeless people who are marginalized. More of these stories are sublif. Everything is like, a girl was working in a coffee shop, she met a boy, but like, sure, like 95% of movies are bourgeois, but you know what? Homeless people have to deal with trying to find romance too. Homeless people have to deal with finding food, warmth, love, mental illness, and look at these shots, by the way. After stuff like Roma, I think people are a lot more ready for black and white. This looks gorgeous.
Yeah, man. And
so,
I've been recently been thinking a lot about that, the fact that homeless people and people living on the street have a story, and there's a reason,
compounded.
Yeah, there's a reason why they find themselves in those circumstances, and we as a community kind of fail them, I think, in our efforts to try and bring them out of there by not firstly understanding what it is that brought them there in the first instance.
I think though we mustn't make the mistake of individuating like the onus. Like there's no individual onus on Katlego to have done something. A system has failed.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
So
that's what I mean by the story.
We put an onus on the individual homeless person, houseless person. We put an onus on whoever. But we all need to have a large conversation about why these movies even need to be made. And while it is beautiful, it's got an urgent message about why anyone should be train hopping in the richest country in the world. Fugitive Dreams.
Sure. Wow, okay.
No date in essay just yet?
No date in essay just yet.
That's your veg.
But as you said, a little bit later on, we'll get some of the pudding on Facebook Live, which begins at 10:08, so make sure that you don't miss out on that.
James Bond steak.
Sebastian. What date? James Bond?
No Time to Die.
Oh.
So many movies to be looking forward to, man. Truly exciting times. But something else that excites us is that since the start of the Woolworths Fuller Back campaign, the response from the South African public has been phenomenal. Working as a team is something that we are truly passionate about here on Expresso, which is why our very own Garen Wolfart wanted to take part in our crew donation challenge and make a contribution today.
Hi guys, Garen here. And what's your name?
Kian.
And we will be donating 100 Rand to the Woolworths Fill a Bag campaign. It's super easy that even a child can do it. So Kian, just snap the code. There we go. And we will be donating 100 Rand. You see, it's that simple, and we encourage you all to do the same. Bye. Say bye.
Oh, what a sweetheart, Garen. You're a legend, man. Thank you so much. Thanks to the generous acts of charity, just like Garen's and his beautiful boys, Woolworths, and you, South Africa, have managed to raise an incredible 2,824,435 Rand. That is insane, guys. Well done. Man, so we are edging ever closer to that total. This means that a total of 957,435 meals have been donated thus far. Incredibly close to that 1 million meal mark, which can be achieved only if 4,200 South Africans, just like you, donated 10 Rand each. So massive thank you to Garen, to everyone who's donated so far. Your contribution really is going to where it's so desperately needed. So thank you so much.
Have your story of hope published by Cadbury Dairy Milk. Now, there's a story in everyone, so whether real or imagined, share yours and it could be amongst the 20 most inspiring stories compiled into an ebook that brings hope, light and wonder to orphaned and vulnerable children across the land. Add 087-240-6488 to your WhatsApp contacts, follow the prompts and share your story as a Word document, a PDF or a video recording. Standard data rates apply.
Join us this Saturday evening at 8 on The Insider SA and stand a chance of winning some incredible prizes featured in the show, including a dinner for two at Foliage Restaurant in Franschhoek, a hand-woven mohair rug from Karoo Looms, a vegan leather wallet and duffel case from Nick and Nickel, and online vouchers from gardening guru Tanya Fisser. That's The Insider SA. Join us Saturday evening at 8 on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, it's the final minutes of what a magic show indeed, Kat. Oh, it's been so much fun. Now, as we near the end of the show, of course, we thought we'd end off on a positive note, and it's time to make some viewers a winner. Now, this week, we asked you to share your favorite feel-good motivational quotes, and in exchange, the 10 best entries will each win a McCafe voucher for a cappuccino and, of course, a donut too. Now, nothing better than some words of wisdom and good coffee to get you through the week.
Absolutely. So it's time to announce our winners. Congratulations to Kendra Lamar, Erica Isaacs, Spiso Pagati, Astrid Jacobs, Tia Lennox, Botale Ramurula, Maddie Mutati, Sinotile Biela, Kolofelo Baloi, Natasha Dava. Your coffee and donut is waiting for you.
Oh man, we got so much magic coming through when it comes to the quotes, and we loved everything. But Maddie Mutati's quote just absolutely stood out for us, and we can't thank you enough for the inspiration that you've added. And this is what she says. She wrote that every morning you have two choices: continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. So today, I love that. So today, just one thing that takes you closer to conquering your dreams is exactly what you need to do.
Chase them, Baba. Come on.
Come on. Hit on it. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Chasing dreams.
Chase that dream, man. Kendra Lamar.
Oh,
well done.
Kendra Lamar.
Well done, Kendra.
It's been such an inspiring show. Thank you very much for hanging out with us this morning. But we continue on Facebook, right?
Yeah, man. So culinary hotline is bling, bling,
no, ting, ting, ting. Come on, get it.
Convention must be kept. We love the fact that we get to connect with you live on Facebook, and we invite all of your comments and questions. We'll be going live with some more movies as well at about 8:10. So stick around until then.
Some month.
We love you.
Let's see you tomorrow. Clover has been part of our South African heritage for over 120 years and wishes you all a happy Heritage Month. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.